Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I am the maker behind Missouri Makes. Today I'm going to show you how to do a stitch tutorial for an up-and-coming pattern that will be here in the fall. And so I thought I would go ahead and show you how to do the stitch. And this stitch is called the waistcoat stitch or the split single crochet, depending on what pattern you're reading for the time. So as you can see with this stitch, we have a knit like fabric, and it's not super stretchy. It's more of a firm type of stitch. And if you are a crocheter but love the look of knit, then this is a perfect stitch for you. It's easy to do, and it creates what looks like knit stitches in your work. And so let's go ahead and I will give you some tips on how to complete this stitch without any frustration. So the yarn that I'm working with is just a worsted weight yarn, and I am using a 6.5 millimeter, which is a K hook. Now for me, I usually use a 5 to 5.5 for my worsted weight yarn because that is the hook that I prefer, and I just prefer a more, I guess, denser fabric. I'm not one to have holes and stuff in my crochet, so I prefer to use a smaller hook. Now for me, if I were to use a 5 or 5.5 in the waistcoat stitch, then it would be hard to complete. So when you're doing the waistcoat stitch, instead of going in these top loops here, you're going to be going into the leg of the single crochet. And in order to do that, your tension is going to have to be loose and or get a bigger hook. So if you tend to have tight tension, then I recommend going up at least one hook size, if not two, for this stitch. So I personally am my tension is tight, and so going up a hook size helps me to complete this stitch. And so that is one tip. Next tip is when you're using a crochet hook, it is easier to insert your hook into the legs of the stitch if your crochet hook has a bit of a point. Now this one's not a sharp point, but it does have a bit of a point on it, so it's easier to insert into the leg of the single crochet. And that's it. Loose tension, bigger hook, pointy hook, and you can use any yarn you want, any weight, any hook. This is just a tutorial for the stitch. This stitch can be used in any yarn weight, any hook size. You just have to play around to figure out what fabric it is that you are wanting. Alright, I think that I have covered everything. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so whenever you are ready to start, I've got a chain of 11 single crochet in the second chain from the hook and across, so I have 10 single crochets here to play with. And so what I'm going to do is chain 1 to start my next round, and to do a split single crochet or the waistcoat stitch, whenever you look at a single crochet has the front loop and the back loop of the stitch. And whenever we do this stitch, we are going to disregard all of that because we will not be using either one to create this stitch. So what we're going to do, if you look at the single crochet has two legs, right here and right here. And we are going to take our hook and insert the hook between those two legs. And then we will pull up a loop and complete a single crochet. Now we'll go to the next stitch and find the two legs right there, and we will go between those two legs, and we will complete a single crochet. Find the 2 legs. It helps to have a single crochet, not a single crochet, but a crochet hook that has a little bit of a point on the head of it up here. So, find the 2 legs. So I finished my last stitch, and this is what your work should look like. Now, to start the next row, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and as you can see, all of the legs are visible for you to use. So I am going to go into that one, which is the first one. As you do this, your tension will adjust and it'll be easier to do. And that's all it takes. I hope that this video tutorial was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like and subscribe, that way you never miss another video from Missouri Mix. And I will see you another day.